The day Russia launched its military offensive in Ukraine, Ukraine called on Turkey to close the Bosphorus and Dardanelles Strait to Russian ships. 4 days later, on the 28th of February, Turkey declared the Bosphorus and the Dardanelles Strait closed to all state warships. Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Cavusoglu told reporters that Turkey was abiding by the 1937 Montreux Convention. Accordingly, when Turkey is not directly involved in any war, it has the right to prevent the warships of the warring parties from crossing the Bosphorus and Dardanelles Strait. If a warship returns to its base in the Black Sea, Turkey will not interfere. Cavusoglu said the Russian government had previously asked them if Turkey would abide by the Montreux Convention. Turkey said at the time that Turkey would abide by the convention. According to a report in Naval News, the Turkish government has banned the sending of warships to the warring parties in accordance with Article 19 of the convention. However, they have most likely resorted to Article 21 to stop warships from entering all countries. It said that if Turkey was threatened with war, it could close the Bosphorus. Shortly after Turkey's decision, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke to Cavusoglu. Ned Price, a State Department spokesman, told reporters that Blinken thanked Cavusoglu for upholding the Montreux Convention and for speaking out in its favor. Blinken also thanked Turkey for its assistance to Ukraine. Turkey's importance has multiplied since the start of the Russian military invasion of Ukraine. Many of those who were in conflict with Turkey before the war have visited Turkey, which shows how much the war has changed the reality of the region. On March 4, U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Wendy Sherman visited Turkey and met with Ibrahim Kalin, the chief advisor to the Turkish president. According to a report by the Anadolu Agency, the two sides agreed to increase joint efforts to negotiate a ceasefire. Kalin said Turkey was trying to mediate between the two warring countries. The two sides also discussed peace and stability in Syria, Libya and Afghanistan. It is also hoped that Turkey's relations with Israel and Armenia's relations with Turkey will improve. On the 11th of March, NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg visited Turkey. According to a NATO press release, Stoltenberg met with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan during his visit and praised Turkey's special role in NATO. He also welcomed Turkey's mediation in the talks between Ukraine and Russia and Turkey's support to Ukraine. Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis arrived in Ankara on March 13, 2 days after Stoltenberg's visit to Turkey. Senar Ulgan, president of the Center for Economic and Foreign Policy Studies, a Turkish think tank, told AFP that the two countries did not want any new conflicts at the moment. Aydin Taspers, a fellow member of the European Council on Foreign Relations, says the leadership of both countries understands that the realities around them have changed. Just 3 months ago, the European security challenge was not like that. If Mitsotakis' visit to Ankara is anything new, it would be even more surprising to hear of German Chancellor Olaf Scholz's visit to Turkey on March 14. At a joint news conference, Scholz said the two countries had agreed to a ceasefire in Ukraine and that both countries had provided military assistance to Ukraine. He thanked Turkey for its decision to close the Bosphorus to all warships. At the same time, he spoke about the aspects of the conflict with Turkey, such as human rights, the rule of law, and Turkey's various actions against German citizens. Erdogan, on the other hand, reminded that Turkey currently has Banija 36 billion in trade with Russia, which they are committed to increase to 50 billion. On March 9, The day before the first round of talks between Ukraine and Russia, Israeli President Isaac Herzog visited Turkey. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan called the visit historic and new to relations between the two countries. He particularly emphasized the importance of energy agreements between the two countries. To that end, Turkish Foreign Minister and Finance Minister will visit Israel in the coming days. He emphasized the importance of the two countries in easing tensions in the Middle East. He also hoped that the differences between the two countries would be resolved through mutual respect and open-mindedness. Al Monitor says Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's policy-changing decisions are driven by economic woes, which are exacerbated by the war in Ukraine. There are also elections in Turkey in 2023, where the ruling AK party will compete with a strong enough opposition group. An article in the Council on Foreign Relations, a U.S. think tank, said that Turkey was in a position to fight the Ukraine war, which could be strategically supported but morally unacceptable. The article goes on to say that Turkey wants to avoid a conflict with Russia so that, firstly, Turkey's gas supply is not disrupted, and secondly, Russia is sidelined in order to keep Syria stable. Turkey has also backed Ukraine, and in recent years has supplied the Bayraktar TB2 drones, which have had some success against Russian forces. In these words, it is clear that Turkey is trying to adapt to reality, not policy, but self-interest. That is why, in addition to blocking the Bosphorus for Russian warships in accordance with the 1937 Montreux Convention, the United States has sought support and advice before mediating talks between Ukraine and Russia. However, just a few months ago, the United States imposed a blockade on Turkey for buying S-400s from Russia. It is clear that just a few days ago, when Erdogan embroiled Turkey in various conflicts by capitalizing on the emotional reality of the Ottoman Caliphate, he seeks to hide his economic mismanagement before the 2023 election by capitalizing on the reality of the war in Ukraine. The United States, Israel, Germany, NATO and Greece are using that changed reality to negotiate with Turkey.